Welcome back, Naughty Nation. Today we're getting down and dirty pouring.
The Naughty Artisan.
All right, today our substrate is white. I'm gonna do a marbled dirty pour. I'm gonna make it look a little bit geodish like. We're gonna use several colors to start out with. I've got 4 to start with. I got my 2 favorite grays. Got my charcoal gray and my smoke gray to start out. I've got a black for contrast. Black's always good. And I'm gonna use a bronze mica powder. We're gonna have a rich earth tone tossed in there as well. So those are the colors we'll be working with today. I will drop links to everything in the description below. All right, so first off, we're gonna mix up our epoxy. If you are not using pre-tinted white super gloss, you are missing out. It makes marbles just the easiest thing. You don't have to guess on your colors or any of that stuff. We go a little bit extra today, so I'm gonna do 12 ounces of white. We're not gonna use that much, but I wanna have a little extra, and then we'll mix up our colors separately. So we're gonna mix up our clear super gloss so that we can mix it in with our powders and colors that we're gonna do next. All right, guys, I'm gonna get my colors in now. First off, I'm gonna get my bronze mica powder. Very large amount of that, because I like that color, comes out beautiful. Then I'm gonna take my clear resin that I've already mixed up here. I'm gonna equally distribute it amongst these 3 cups with my other colors besides white. So there's my bronze. This is gonna be my smoke gray. And this is gonna be my charcoal gray, which is actually gonna be a little bit less because the darker colors really tend to take over, so I don't wanna use quite as much of that. We go just like that. All right, so I'm gonna add in my charcoal gray now. Mix it up. Once again, when you're at home, use a respirator. Makes it hard for me to talk to you, so I'm not gonna use one right now. But I'm just gonna add some colorant into my epoxy here. You could use additional micas if you wanted, but I'm gonna use the spray paint in this case. And you'll see as we blend this up, we get a really nice dark charcoal gray going. Delicious. Now I've got my charcoal gray mixed up. I'm gonna hit my smoke gray. It's my contrasting lighter color. Once again, we're gonna mix all this up. Love that color. This is one of my favorite grays. Goes so well with everything. People love this. All right, now my bronze, my micas. All right, that's good to go. All right, guys, now that we've got our colors mixed up, we're gonna layer it in. Now, the thing with the dirty pours, you kinda wanna remember proportions. I wanna be a lighter colored marble effects here. So I want about 75, 80% of it white and the remainder to be my color. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take this one that I mixed the clear up in. I'm gonna go ahead and pour it up right there. I'll put just a little white in. Then I'm gonna take some of the bronze. I'm gonna layer that in as well. And then the darkest color, just a kiss of those. Just like that. Then I'm gonna go with my smoked gray on top. And then a little hack I like to do is in between your layers, just take some black spray paint, doesn't have to be a ton. Just give it a light coating over the top of that. It's gonna add some fun little effects in there. And I'm gonna, once again, layer in my white heavily. Then I'm gonna go a little copper once again. By a little, I mean a lot. And once again on my charcoal, I don't wanna go too crazy with. Then my smoke gray. Couple squirts of black in between my layers again. It's gonna cause a fun little effect. Then our final layer. Get all that white out there. I'm gonna take this, I'm gonna turn that upside down on my board. And then I'm gonna add a little more charcoal. I'm sorry, not charcoal, bronze. Do a little more bronze there. I actually think that looks pretty dark, so I'm gonna skip the charcoal this round. And the last of my smoke gray. I'm gonna stick it in just like that. I'm gonna set that upside down here as well. And I'll do just a kiss of this, just like that. I'm gonna set this aside for now. And in the meantime, I've set these up here to skim my substrate with. I'm actually gonna pour out some of the remainder as well. And all I'm gonna do is wet the surface, so as I lay down the dirty pour effect, it's gonna make it flow real easily because it's not dry. So now that I've done that, I'm gonna set this aside over here. And then all you wanna do is grab your stick, and all I wanna do is wet it. So I'm just gonna go back and forth. And I'm not worried about the colors or how they look. I mainly just wanna make sure the surface of my board is nice and wet. Gives you a little sneak peek of what our marble is gonna look like. And I'm already liking that, guys. I can see that already. The rest of this I'm gonna go ahead and pull off the board because I actually don't want that to be part of my mix. So I'll make sure it's nice and wet. Just like that, that'll do. Spread that out. All right, I've got my mix here. I'm gonna give it a slight half twist. I don't wanna mix it all up and muddle it into one color. I'm just gonna give it a half a twist just like that. Put my colors down. Now when I apply these, I like to do off the board. I'm gonna do kind of here, up, and then down. And then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna stick with that pattern and just follow my way. I'm not actually touching at first. On the board, off the board. Oh, here comes some of our resin, our bronzes, just like that. Some of our white popping out. Now I've done that, we're gonna come here. All right, then I'm gonna leave this here and we're gonna make a little vein with this at the end as well, you'll see. So I'll set that aside. All right, now that I've got that there, I'm gonna use my finger and I'm gonna stick with the pattern that I laid out, the motion, so that we don't lose that. And I'm gonna go back and forth and I'm kind of bringing the resin down with me, following that pattern so I can bring it on the entire board. Just like that. Sticking with my pattern. Then here I'm going to go more straight across. Tap this out. I'm a little heavy up top. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pick this board up and I'm going to turn it towards me and bring this whole design down just like that and help distribute that resin evenly. It's also going to give us some real nice layering effects. It's going to look very natural that way. All right, remember that cool colors we had down on the end? I'm going to go ahead and use that. I'm going to make some interesting vein patterns in here. I'm going to kind of stick with where I've been. I'm going to start off the board and end off the board. The trick with this is to keep a steady movement so I'm going to get a squiggly line. Just fast and just bring it right across just like that. Let's vein out, give us a little love. We'll do it again right up here, kind of come off. And let's do it across. Just like that. Give it a minute to set up. All right, let's torch it. One pass for glass. All right, you can see here I've got a couple of procreation molecules. I don't like the way they look, so I'm going to tap it. I'm going to come off the board and all the way so we kind of get a pattern out of that as well. And we'll let that flow. Oh, I did it again. We'll let that flow out. All right, and that's how you do the dirty pour. Now I got a love-hate relationship with the dirty pour. I love the way the designs come out and the colors and those kind of things. I hate that the replication's not always as close as I'd like it to be time and time again. Play with it, show me some designs you got, send it in, I'd love to see them. All right guys, thanks for getting down and dirty with us with the dirty pour. If you found value in this content, we don't ask for any money from you, but we do ask for one thing in return. Please like this video, subscribe to our channel, and then ring the bell so next time we have them, you'll be the first to know. See you next time.
The naughty artisan. The naughty artisan.
Today we're getting down and dirty pouring. Almost sounds like porn. Dirty pouring. I like to have between 4 and 7 colors when I'm doing a dirty pour.
Could you do that whole section over again?
Yep.
And go ahead.
All right, today we're going to be 1, 2, 3. It's my party and I cry if I want to. I'm not going to do the whole spiel on mixing. I'm sure, imagine all this will be cut out anyways or sped up or. Tell you what, gets the carpal tunnel going.